So I set up my mat. As you can see, I would be facing you when I turn to the right. And I have my block on the back side of the mat, one on the top end and one on the back end. And I have these blocks set up because when we get to the standing poses, it doesn't mean you're going to necessarily need the blocks. But you know how in Ashtanga we usually do triangle, and we do reverse triangle, we do side angle, we do reverse side angle. If you wanted a block, it would be there for you, but I'm also going to be adding in a posture today. So we're actually going to be coming into half moon during that standing series. So the half moon, you may need the floor to come to you. If you're tighter through the inner thighs or hamstrings, then this block can be your assistant. So Jen asked me how I was doing today, and I was just saying, oh, I'm feeling like a new, a little bit of zest for life right now. And I was just telling you, when I came back from Greece with COVID, I had that 5-day period of isolation and quarantine. And it's the first and only time, knock on wood, so far that I've had this thing. And so luckily, you know, it's been changed to 5 days versus 10 days. And anyway, by the end of the 5th day, I sunken into depression. Like, I really felt bad for the people that had to do it for 10 days. And anyway, ever since then, it's not that I've been in a funk, but I've been feeling like I've been lacking inspiration. And so that's back. It's back, and I'm real excited. And so I thought today I would talk about the difference between motivation and inspiration. Motivation is ego-driven. Motivation is when we're feeling the drive because the circumstances in life just kind of force us into that, right? Think about all the institutions that are around us and all the institutions requiring payments for things. You know, from the state of the ego, we have to do certain things in order to provide for our families, you know? So motivation is ego-driven. But inspiration is spirit-driven. If you look at the term inspiration or inspire, it's from a Latin word that means to be in spirit, to be moved, to be led, to be called. It's to be, also means to breathe into. And I was telling her, I was like, oh, I've got this inspiration again, and I have enthusiasm. And if you look at the word enthusiasm, it comes from a Greek word that means divinely inspired. And so those words, inspiration and enthusiasm, can really work well together. So hopefully you're staying inspired. Hopefully you're being enthusiastic with life. If not, hopefully this theme today will help to evoke that inside of you, or to keep your eyes out, or to keep your feelers out, and hopefully it will touch you at some point. So we're going to start actually in a passive crocodile pose today. And we're going to be on the belly with the feet spread open, with the arms crossed, the chest up, and then lowering the head. So with the chest up and then lowering the head to the arms, it should provide some space between you and the earth, so that you have this breezeway in which you can start to turn and hone in on your breath. Now, being on the belly, you're going to find that as you're inhaling, your belly is going to swell and balloon, just like it would if you were sitting or lying on your back. Then you'll also find that pressure releases when you breathe out and the belly starts to retract. But continue to breathe in a diaphragmatic way, because breathing this way can help to stimulate and strengthen this muscle that helps us to breathe. Think about those terms, inspiration and enthusiasm. Have you felt this as of late? Are you abundant with this, or do you feel like you're lacking in this department? So to be in spirit, to be in breath, let's use our breath to become more inspired. There's a voice in the universe that is always helping us to remember our purpose. Sometimes it's a whisper, sometimes it's a shout, and sometimes it sings. And when we're inspired and enthused, it helps us to experience joy, connection, our creative juices, and even a sense of purpose by helping to direct and align us to our calling, regardless of the outcome, regardless of the goal. And sometimes it takes us into uncharted territories or uncharted waters. Now that you've been contemplative concerning these terms, I want you to slide your hands now up underneath your shoulders. Push into your palms, lift up to table, press back to child, but keep your head and heart up. We're just gonna add in a side stretch before we get up to stand. So walk your hands over to the right side of the mat and gently lower back in. And just feel this opening in your left side body. Feel it moving from your waistline up through the side traps to the outseam of the shoulder. Keep the left elbow upward and kind of travel the fingertips a little bit more outward, just to accentuate that stretch, as long as you can still openly and effectively breathe. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and lift up, travel your hands all the way across to the left side. And then gently lower the head and the heart. It's okay if the head hovers, it may or may not touch the floor. Keep that right elbow lifted, keep the fingertips traveling away from you, and then incorporate that deep yogic breath. And when you're ready, inhale, gently begin to travel back to the mat, keeping the hands shoulder distance apart, rock forward, curl your toes, lunge into your first Adho Mukha Svanasana, and go ahead and start to walk out the dog. Bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg, just charging into your calves and warming up your hamstrings. All right, let's go ahead and travel the feet forward to the top of the mat. Hang down for a second in your Uttanasana, much deeper stretch for the back body. Press through the soles of the feet. Lift through your kneecaps. Lift your quadriceps. Lift your navel. And on your next in-breath, sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. And then exhale, bring hands home, sweep home to the heart. Now we're going to close the eyes and start to ignite our Ujjayi Pranayama. Constricting the back of the throat and allowing the breath to become like that whisper, just like that inner calling, that inner voice that comes to us when we're being inspired. On your next inhale, gently begin to open up your eyes, set your drishti, let your inhale lift the arms and allow the exhale to hinge you over from your hips. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. Feel free to step back to plank first before lowering to that low push-up. Inhale, rise to up dog. Exhale, roll back to down dog. And then we hold and breathe here. So remember, yoga is all about the breath. It doesn't matter what style you practice. You can go to Bikram, they're going to focus on breath. You can come here, you're going to focus on breath in the blissful flow. If you go to Holly's Vinyasa, it's going to be breath oriented. If you go to Jen's class, it all revolves around the breath. So breathe. On your next inhale, let's bring the feet to the top of the mat, lifting halfway up on arrival to Ardha Uttanasana. And your exhale takes you down. Your inhale builds you up. And your exhale brings you to Samasthiti. All right, round two. Inhale, open and expand. Exhale, fold into self. Inhale, sprout up. Exhale, chaturanga. You're welcome to bounce back. You're welcome to pass through plank. Once you carry yourself through the vinyasa and your exhale brings you to downward facing dog, you continue to maximize your breath. Continue to listen and meditate on the sound of your breath. And if you've been lacking inspiration, maybe this is a moment in quietude where you can call in your spirit guides for assistance. Next inhale, you can meditationally walk, you can lunge, you can float the feet together, whatever's in your practice, lifting halfway up, looking out with your eyes, and exhale, plow back down towards your thighs. Inhale, coming up to the top, and exhale, Samasthiti. All right, again, inhale, exhale. Inhale, open up to joy. Exhale, build some upper body strength. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, rock and roll back. So if you were here with me on Monday, our whole inspiration was based on Krishna, and specifically Krishna's flute and what it symbolizes and represents. And I mentioned that each and every one of us have a song to sing. How we express ourselves in life. Let your breath be that song right now. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana at the top. Exhale, let go. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. We're going to do one more A today. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward, belly hugging in. Inhale, lengthen the vertebrae. Exhale, chaturanga, drop and hover. Take your time when you're ready to inhale, open up. And as you exhale, roll it back. Pausing here, being here. Putting the emphasis back in your breath. Let your in-breath bring you to the top of the mat and create some space between the two halves. Exhale, release down. Inhaling up. Exhaling hard. We're going to move into our V sun sows. Inhale, take your Utkatasana. Ground those feet, lift through the navel. Exhale, forward fold. In and halfway up. Out to Chaturanga Dandasana, forward on staff. Into up dog. Upward drishti. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, right foot steps through, back heel lowers, warrior one. From this establishment, exhale, lower the hands, step back, and continue to flow with mindfulness. Left foot next, warrior one. Be in the experience. And then bow down. Continue the flow of movement. Remember, you can always take pause. And we're taking pause here anyway to hold for several breaths. This is where we recollect, we recenter. Into Ardha Uttanasana. Out to Uttanasana, gazing up towards the navel. Inhale to Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, here we go. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. In and look out. Out and lower down. Into the stilts of the arms. Exhale to the inversion. Right foot leads, warrior one on the inhale. Exhale, come back down. Left foot leads next. Remember, flow with your breath, not the ego. Difference between motivation and inspiration. Holding and breathing. Replenishing the skin of the face. Helping to remove the mind. Bringing clarity and focus. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. Another week. Inhale, chair. Exhale, over straight legs. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, chaturanga. Let the inhale lift you up. Allow the exhale to carry you back. Inhale, right foot steps through, back heel down, warrior one. Exhale, hands flatten, right foot back. Left foot steps through next. And release. So notice when the body starts to become mechanical. And then re-emphasize your breath. So it's intentional and deliberate with breath. Inhale, feet plant at the top, heart opens up. Exhale, heart melts down. Inhale, knees bend, arms lift. Exhale, Samasthiti. We're just doing one more beat today. Inhale, chair. Exhale, bow out. Inhale, sprout up. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, rise. Exhale, roll. Right foot, warrior one. Back into the flow. Left foot next. Navadasana one. And last vinyasa for now. Taking advantage of being upside down. Keeping the eyes open to getting a fresh perspective. Drink from the breath of life. And Krishna asked his devotees, what would you like to be in my hand? Some said chakra, some said lotus, some said conch shell, and he said, why not flute? You could touch my lips and I could breathe the breath of life into you to purify your heart and to enlighten your mind. Inhale, the feet at the top of the mat. Exhale, release. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasana. All right, hands to the hips, step or hop the feet apart. Shoulders roll back. Exhale, release. We're going to take the first 2 fingers around each big toe. We're going to take the thumb and push down into the big toenail, activating the acupressure point for the pituitary gland. And we're going to bend the elbows and fly them forward as the head lowers. Inhale, straighten the arms, lift the head and heart. And then you're going to take your palms all the way up underneath the soles of your feet. So your toes are coming to the crease of the wrists. And you're going to lower your head back down. Hadahastasana. Foot over hand pose. A good counter after the weight bearing we've done on the wrists. Keep lifting your sits bones. And then release. One hand at a time. Stack the hands to your waist. Come all the way up. Feet together. Now, we're going to step to the right. And we're going to rotate the right foot 90 degrees. Lengthen out through the arms. Press back into the hips to come down into your triangle or Trikonasana. So we talked about Krishna's flute bringing about rapturous joy. But think about the terms we're using today: enthusiasm and inspiration, being divinely inspired, experiencing ecstatic joy. All right, so we're going to lower the left hand and we're going to circle it down towards the right foot. We're going to bend the right knee. Feel free to use your block to stand on with your hand as you lift into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. The blocker hand is to the outside of the pinky toe, several inches forward of the foot. That way the hips can roll open and stack. Power into the sole of that left foot. Spread the toes nice and wide. When you're ready, bend that right knee. Slowly lower the left foot, lift the right hand, come back up to stand. All right, you're going to turn that back foot a little bit more forward. You're going to be facing the back of the room for revolving triangle. Lift the left arm skyward, and as you exhale, you're going to lower out over that right leg. The hand can come to the body, to the floor, or again to the block. The right arm can reach up if it doesn't aggravate the shoulder. If it does aggravate the shoulder, just keep it down on the hip instead. Lengthen out through the whole spine. Open up space where the diaphragm muscle would be. Good. Exhale, lower the right hand. Build up. Turn the feet square. Now rotate your left foot towards the front. Lengthen out through the arm, shoulder height. Push back into the hips as you lengthen up over that one side. And windmill down to triangle. The hand can rest on the thigh, on the shin, on the ankle, on the foot, on the floor, on a block. But roll open through your chest. Maybe even affirming energy and joy flow down to me. All right, take that top hand, carry it down towards the right hip, down towards the left foot, just enough for you to windmill it through, stacking onto the block with your left hand and revolving open to half moon. Balance and breathe. Good, bend the left knee, slowly step your right foot down, lift your left hand up. All right, relax your arms, pop the right foot over, turn the hips to be more square, reach the right arm overhead, and then when you're ready, come down and create Parita Trikonasana, the revolving format. Find a good position for your head and your neck. Set your eyes on one place. When you're ready, lower the left arm, inhale, pick up the hands, come back to stand. Instead of stepping to the front, we're just gonna replace the feet. Rotate the right foot 90 degrees, lunge that knee. Prop onto it with your arm. Left arm reaches up or over the ear. Parshvanasana. We did the really fancy variation Monday. You can do something more fanciful if you feel called to do it. Please don't go with the power of suggestion. Inhale, let's draw up. Right foot turns in, left foot rotates out. Lunge the knee. Prop onto the thigh, keeping that hip open. Right arm can go straight up or in a diagonal line. Roll the pinky down if you're bringing it across the ear. Take another expression only if you feel called. Notice how when we get in these steadier poses, the breath gets quieter in the room, but the Ujjayi breath should still be active and alive. Let's all create that symphony of sound. All right, inhale, draw up. Turn your left foot in, relax your arms down. All right, rotate your right foot. Spin off your back heel. Crank the belly towards your inner right thigh. And bring your hands to prayer position at your heart. Again, if you want another expression or variation, you can create it. Exhale, unwind. Plant that left foot, come up safely, swivel the feet, lunge the left knee, and take that deep twist. Unwind, put the back foot, safely come up, feet turn to be parallel, hands stacked to the hips. We're gonna roll the shoulders back today. We're not doing all four. Gently hinge over, take the B variation of this pose. The elbows keep flying up. The crown of the head is facing the floor. You know, this is one of the lineages where we say keep the eyes open. Very different from other lineages that advise to keep the eyes closed. All right, inhale, press through the feet, draw in through your core, safely come up. Lace the hands behind your back, shoulders roll back, open up the cavity of the chest. Choosing to stay here upright or folding. Taking the C variation of Vajrayana Padottanasana. Knuckles flying up, shoulders lifting away from the earlobes. All right, inhale, slowly come up. Exhale, relax your hands apart. All right, your right foot's gonna rotate to face the back of the room, back of the room. Your left foot's gonna offset. Your hands are gonna come to reverse and I'm gonna stay behind your back. If that's too much for your hands or wrists, crisscross the arms. Now ground your back foot. Slightly turn your left ribs towards your right leg and begin descending over it.
Intense side stretch pose. So squeezing the right hip in. That will activate the IT band more. Gazing towards the foot, the Padyoragram Drishti. Inhale, root through the ball of the front foot. That will slowly and safely build you up. And we'll revolve the feet. Turning the left foot to face the front, offstepping the right. Turning and folding. You're slightly turning that right rib cage over towards your left leg now. Squeezing the left hip in. Keeping the hands pressing together. Gaze towards the foot. Press through the ball of the left foot to inhale, slowly come to stand. Release the hands first, and then step up. Feet side by side. Broaden the base of the feet. We're moving into balancing pose. So if you want to modify today, you're just holding your knee. If you want to take the full extension for Padangusthasana A, you can use a strap or tie to toe. Open to B. Back to A. Perhaps C. Then we're going to release the foot. We're skipping deep today. All right, walk it out if you need to. Okay, are you ready? Standing and stacking on the right side, picking up the left knee, choosing to be here to modify, or taking a deeper expression. Open to B. Lift your heart. Bring back to A, perhaps C, get do C, do D. Release. Walk it out if you need to. Okay, the next one you can do regular tree, I don't always do the half lotus, but we're going to try the half lotus if you want to join me. So to go to half lotus, we're picking up the right foot, grabbing the underside of the foot so that we can bring it to the hip crease on that left leg. Now you can choose to be here, half namaste. You can wrap the right arm behind you. You can even lift the right arm skyward. If you're doing the half lotus and you feel balanced, steady, and want to fold, you can fold over. And then eventually you can build back up. And release. Okay. Round your right foot. What we're dependent on here. And then determine, depending on your practice, your body, your balance today, regular tree, or maybe that half Padmasana. you want to fold, take this opportunity. Ready. And release. Hands there. Inhale, arms open. Exhale, fold. In and halfway up. Out to chaturanga. Into the up dog. And you know to roll back to the down dog. All right, foot steps through, back heel lowers. Coming up, exalted warrior one. And the hands can relax. You're going to pivot, turn to face the back of the room. Exalted warrior one. Come to warrior two. Spreading the arms. Inhale, straighten the left leg, turn the left foot, right foot turns, exhale, bend the knee. Helicopter the arms down, take your next vinyasa. Recollect your energy and recenter yourself with breath. When you're ready, bend the knees, crisscross the ankles, or slide the legs through toward Dandasana. Feet stay flexed, thighs plant down, arms radiate up. Exhale, Paschimottanasana. We're trying to fly the heart out towards the feet. Traditionally, you look out, but if that's too much for your neck, you can look down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands behind your back. I'm going to do reverse table, but you can do reverse plank. You do reverse plank, you're pointing the toes, lifting the buttocks off the floor. If you want to join me, bending the knees, tucking the tailbone, and lifting up this way. Pick your bone today. Breathe. Nice counter after the chaturangas. All right, exhale, let's slowly sit down. Instead of doing a vinyasa, I just want you to take your left leg out. Keep your right knee bent. Right arm is going to reach to the inside, and we're going to turn the arm as we bind it around the right shin. All right, inhale, left arm reaches, and then backstroke that arm. Maybe the hands can come together. And then you can dip down a little bit more with your upper body if you have that available. Inhale, keep the arms down, maybe lift and flex and float to the right foot. Now remove the binding, bring the foot to the inner thigh, arms reach back up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold, Jani Shasana. Again, there's that slight pivot, turning and twisting the right ribs, navel over towards that straight leg. Right, inhale, let's come up. And we're going to scoop underneath the right foot. And bring it across for half lotus. This is my favorite Ashtanga pose. Your right arm circles around. Now, if you just take your arm back, it's only going to go so far. But if you carry yourself into the twist, you might be able to find your foot. Again, don't worry if you can't, even with the twist, but it's possible for some people to add it in with the twist. Then we turn back to face the front. Left arm reaches and exhale, folding. In and halfway up. Look up. And release the back arm. Okay, you can, if this feels pretty simple for your body to do, you might be able to bend the knee. But if you're sitting on both sits bones, it's gonna look like this and feel weird. So you roll to your right sit bone so that knee can lower. Okay, it's just a little trick there. If you're like, okay, none of that's happening, drop the foot below or behind your left ankle and you'll look like this, okay? So you can do it one or the other way. Left arm's gonna reach through the inside of your left knee, twist, twist, turn the arm to create the bind and hook. You got it? The right arm reaches ahead. I'm impressed. It's coming along. She had a frozen shoulder for a while. She's getting there. It's a lot more mobility. So then we can dip the head down. If that foot is trapped in half lotus, you're going to feel a pretty good foot and ankle stretch there. Inhale, lift the head up. Keep the arms bound and maybe look out over the back shoulder. And then release the arms. Release the feet, crisscross. Hands forward, stepping back. And then you can either jump through the Dandasana, or you can crisscross the ankles and lightly sit down. We'll take the right leg forward and we'll actually keep the left knee bent. A little separation between the foot and the leg so that we can reach through the inside. Twist, twist, turn the arm, the hand to create the bind. The right arm extends and then swims behind the back. You can use that bind of the arm to kind of hug that left knee in towards yourself. And then inhale, lean into your sits bones, keep your arms bound. Maybe flex and float to the left foot. And remove the bind. Bring the foot to the inner thigh. Arms reach up towards the sky. Slightly turn towards the straight leg as you bow. You can have different hand holds. We've gone over that before. Inhale, let's come up. Let's scoop underneath the foot. Set it on top of the hip crease if that's available. If it's not available, don't worry about it. Just bring it back. The left arm will circle around and maybe find the foot. Turn back to face the front. Right arm reaches high and exhale, forward fold. In and halfway up. Look up. And you can try sliding the right foot in. Again, it's going to go awkward, and you can just shift your weight to the left. If that's still not working out for your foot, for your knee, for your hip, Drop the foot down. Right arm reaches through and then binding it. Left arm reaches out and then binds behind the back. Drifting the head along. This is one of those pretzel poses.
No, I lost all my thighs. It's so sad.
It'll come back quicker than you think.
Hopefully.
For you even to be able to do that is impressive.
No.
So don't get frustrated. It's gonna come. It'll come quickly. All right, inhale, let's come up. All right, let's release out of that. Okay, I want you to circle your feet, ankles. Okay, so you may or may not do the full lotus, and this is where the strap can come in. The strap should already be looped, so it shouldn't slide when it's pulled. So let's just see what's possible. So bring your left foot in, and then pick up your right heel and stack it to half Vinyasa. And then if that left foot is underneath your right knee, slide it out, lean forward and notice how the knee drops. And then if you scoop up underneath the left foot, you might be able to create the bind. If that's not happening, and it feels like it's being forced, if you can do half, you're just gonna keep that left foot tucked under. Okay, and if you can't do either one, it's okay. Do Sukhasana with both feet under. If you're in full lotus, you don't have to do the strap. If you're in half or Sukhasana, you need a strap. So stay with me. Have the loop, the bracket on top, and you're gonna take that strap underneath the foot and thigh on one side. You with me? Okay, then we twist the strap like this, so it looks like the sign of infinity. And then this circle on top is gonna go over the knee, under the foot if it's there, and then boom. Tie it up by pulling the loose end of the strap, and you're in the pose. Okay? Or in something similar where you're bound.
One question.
Yeah.
Does it need to be the sequence as this foot on top first and then the other?
Right,
Or
but
can it be
left.
the,
Yeah.
because this is a lot more comfortable for me, but
Yes,
if it doesn't.
the left
work-
side's easier. Yes. Same. But in Ashtanga, and I learned this through Cindy because she's such the Ashtanga person,
Uh-huh.
it's right foot then left.
Oh.
But it's
I didn't
also,
know
this
that.
is a more masculine practice, and the
Mhm.
masculines, think about, we always step to the right in Ashtanga,
Right.
right? That's very masculine. Same thing here, right foot up first. In Yin, totally different, that's feminine. You're doing the left side first.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do is lean into our sits bones, whether your feet are on top or bottom, whether you have the strap or not, take a hold of your knees and draw them in. Now, I'm not gonna do the Utkatasana, where the hands go through, because I'm not ready for that today. But if you take your hands now underneath your thighs, not at your hips, but under your thighs, forward. You're gonna lean into your hands. You're gonna take scale pose, if it's possible, by lifting the buttocks off the floor. And that is arm strength, bone strength, it's core strength, hip flexor strength. And it's okay if you can't do it. Okay, we're gonna do something a little bit fun too here. Sometimes you do all the breath work with it, but I just want to do the fun sequence where we're now shifting forward with our hands. And you keep walking the hands forward and you keep coming down like a prone position, and you can even stretch your arms out in front. It looks like it's gonna hurt, but it doesn't. You'll be surprised it doesn't hurt. Does it hurt you? Yeah, it doesn't hurt. It just looks like it would, right? And then hands slide back under the shoulders. Push into your palms, build some upper body strength. Sit back and lean over your lap for a good hip stretch. And then when we come up, I kind of have to scoot forward. I'm gonna bounce forward with this. If you want to do tranquility pose, or if you just want to go to fish pose. Okay, I'll show you fish first. Fish would be here. I really shouldn't be doing tranquility pose, so I'm not gonna show you. I showed you the other day. It's a pose that I really shouldn't be doing with my neck. I'm not gonna show you that. Basically, it's shoulder stand, and the knees are coming down towards the face, and your hands are holding your knees. Does anybody do it? If I want to show it. I'm gonna protect my
You're
neck
looking at me
today.
like Kate, you got it? Yeah,
You got
no,
this?
I do not have it.
All right, if you want to release from the bind, you can, or at least do the inversion of fish though. Because when you do fish with the lotus position, that's actually one of the more traditional styles of ways of doing it. And then if your feet are starting to hurt, and you want to release the feet, you're like, I can't do fish that way. You can do fish the other way. Your toes pointed, your legs elongated, your heart open, your throat open. When you come down, hug your knees in. Okay, I'm gonna give you a choice here. You can do one final pose. So you can either do headstand if you want to practice Shirshasana, since we didn't get all our inversions in. If you feel like I'm good with fish, and we did a lot of down dogs. It's not like we didn't do any inversions. We even did the standing forward folds. You can do a twist on your back. Or you could do bridge pose as an alternative for headstand if you want another inversion. But the twist helps to activate all 7 chakras. Headstand obviously will really emphasize the top tier, the 7th. And once you've done your final posing, if you want to spread out in Shavasana, Heather's got to leave us early. Oh, it's okay, all good. I'll put your props away. Unless those are yours. If you want to just do the corpse pose for relaxation, the feet will separate. The arms are more in an A-frame style. And the palms can turn open, or you can even rest them on your abdomen. Close the eyes, and remember, if you ever want more for the eyes, we do have washcloths that we can use as an extra shield to block out some of the light. We no longer have to use that Ujjayi breath. So the breath can just naturally ebb and flow. And I want you to reflect back on this practice. Were you meeting the demands of your ego or spirit? Regardless of how you practiced, I want you to enter into relaxation. in a manner of sweet surrender. Because it's when we surrender to spirit, we can become more contented. We can breathe our way into a state of bliss. So bear witness to the breath as it comes and goes. Let the observation of the breath calm, clear the mind. Clear and open the heart. Calm and relax the body.
Just follow it from its entrance all the way to the top, acknowledging that natural still point. Following the exhale from the top to the bottom of the exhale. Gently roll your head from shoulder to shoulder. Bring the chin back in line with the chest and inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, pull the knees into the chest. Wrap your arms around with Maya tree. Radical self-acceptance and rock from side to side. Turning over to one. Acclimating there before coming to sit. Once you create a more formal seat, ground down through your seat and lift up to your crown. Be absorbed in the energy you've been generating and moving around today. And trust that this healing energy will go where the body's natural intelligence takes it. Draw your hands to Anjali Mudra. I'm going to chant the Om Shanti Shanti today. If you want to join me, feel free. Breathing in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And we all walk away from this practice being free and at peace in our bodies, hearts, and minds. May we be free from anything that is imposed upon us and be free from any internal stressors of our own. Today, thank you.